Angie Miller, this is Ariana Shelton, and I'm going to talk about using your core or finding your core. And a lot of times when we're thinking about core, when you hear somebody use the word, support your core, use your core, you think of what is commonly referred to in fitness magazines, right, as like just your stomach muscles. But really the core's job is to stabilize the pelvis and to stabilize, you're talking about your spine, right, and the natural curves of your spine. The pelvis needs to be neutral. In order to stabilize that neutral pelvis, you need to use the muscles both above the pelvis and underneath the pelvis that anchor it. So where the lower fibers of the gluteals come in, what I call the thut, where the thigh meets the butt, that's where I think it often gets neglected and where we could use more work on supporting and gaining strength. So if you think of the core being all of your abdominal muscles plus the thut, where the thigh meets the butt, you'll be in pretty good shape. Go ahead, and Ari's going to lie down on the floor here. She doesn't know what I'm having her do, so go ahead and lie down on your back. And so what I started doing actually in some of my jazz classes to work this thut muscle, because you're going to get power from it, and that's kind of where you're going to extend the hip from. It is exactly where you're extending the hip from, actually. She's going to bend her legs. And first we're going to just lift the pelvis. Actually bend your legs a little bit more. And let's go apart slightly. There you go. Yeah, make sure you're like good. And so she's going to lift right here. So the pelvis goes up, yeah, and really squeeze in the thut to go up and down, rolling through the spine that way. And this works your core. This works the lower fibers of the gluteals if you're going up. As high as you can, yep, and then down. And you can breathe while you do it. You should breathe. Okay. However, the breathing feels natural to you. It's really not rocket science. Yeah. Cool. Then, once you've done that a few times, 5 to 10 reps, then I'm going to bring both legs together. Now, this one I was calling in jazz class this semester, I was calling this the thut buster. This is one actually I remember having in my modern class with Becca Voigt at Webster. You extend this leg, and it's a physical therapy exercise as well. So your thighs are together. This foot is flexed. That's flat on the floor. We're all nicely parallel aligned. I'm being super picky with her. You're going to drive this heel into the floor and then use this thut to lift. So you're coming up. It's really hard. Mm-hmm. It's like a one-legged squat or a one-legged lunge kind of thing. So you're going up and down, and you feel that in your lower fibers of your gluteals, right? Like at the thut. So she's going up and down. You can see, she's really strong and she's shaking a little bit. So that's okay. It's just going up again. And try to lift this side as evenly as the other, yeah. And rolling through the spine. And then try the other leg. So you're going to switch. She's squeezing her legs together. So you're using a little bit of inner thigh to help support. What a lot of people let happen on this one is the thighs kind of float apart, but we're working on, again, getting that thigh engaged. Yep. Let's do that just one more time. I don't know how many times you did it, but one more time. And when it gets difficult, really think of sending that heel down into the floor there. Do you feel that difference? As soon as she drove that down, she was able to access a little bit more. So that's sort of demonstrating the heel-sit bone connection too that we talk about in our movement classes. So that's the thut. That's how we get that stronger. That's one way you can get it stronger. Whenever we're doing, if we come into a little, well, bring your legs up to your knee. What am I saying? Knees up. So here's something that I realized when I was working with my Pilates instructor, Noelle. If you think of lengthening this leg by contracting here, so lengthen the leg and contract there, in the thud. Does that make sense? Kinda. So you can, of course, our thighs, our quads, go ahead and relax for a second. Our quads are what actually straightens our legs. But if you think of more than straightening the leg, but rather extending the hip, that's what your lower fibers of your gluteals do. So just do one leg actually, you don't need to do both at the same time. Think of, as the leg lengthens, you're also extending the hip. That'll open up that tight hip flexor for you. Extend the hip, extend the hip, extend the hip, extend the hip by squeezing the butt, and then bring it back in. Extend the hip by squeezing the butt right in there, so it feels long that way. Does that make sense? Try that again. As I'm reaching all up into your personal space. Down here. Does that make sense? Like you get that extra, you can get a friend to pull on you there. That's always nice too. Try the other leg so you're not walking around crooked. So this is squeezed. I'm going to extend that long. Really lengthening there. And I mean, I remember one day when I finally realized that, even when I was walking, I was just like, oh wow, I feel like taller and just I started walking my dog quicker. So that's my 2 cents about the thud. We'll be back in a minute to talk